I do this all the time where how are you is just a greeting, right? And that's how I was raised, that's like the culture I grew up in. So I never say anything different than good.
Like I feel like a lot of the time, how are you is used as a greeting or like as small talk.
I had one girl ask me how I was in passing, and before I could even respond, she just walked away. Like, people like don't care.
It can be kind of callous and just like, oh yeah, how are you? And it doesn't really mean anything.
When I'm having a harder day and someone asks how I'm doing, I definitely feel pressure to say that I'm doing well, even if I'm really, really not.
I sometimes feel like I'm not allowed to share how I'm feeling because I don't want to like bum anyone else out.
Someone will be like, how are you? And I'm just like, I'm good, how are you? And it's just so tiring to always just be like, I'm great, I'm good.
I try to say okay because that's neutral enough that people won't be like, what's wrong with you?
I think at a place like Scripps in particular,
We kind of live in this like beautiful, idyllic place.
You've got, you know, amazing professors, like resources at your fingertips, like you live in like a country club.
I think everyone here knows that they're very privileged to be here. It tells us that we should be happy, that, you know, there's no excuse for us to be unhappy.
There is kind of this fear of what would happen if you actually said that you weren't fine.
I need there to be a culture in general at Scripps that is like, that gives us room to not be okay.
we are not in an environment that allows us to be open about it, but I do think that that's changing.
Every once in a while, you'll get that person who like wants to sit down and they're like, how are you? And that's touching.
And I feel like that's the difference between like, how are you doing and how you doing?
I do feel that people do care. It's just that you need to talk, right? Like, we need to start talking about how we're not okay.
It's nice to have someone else that feels the same way as you, or just have someone to be there to listen.
I had a conversation like that last night where I was like, I feel like this, and the other person was like, I feel that way too. I was like, what? I'm not the only one?
You're not burdening other people when you tell them, you know, I'm not having a great day or I'm not doing fine. A lot of the times people actually appreciate hearing that because it shows them that they're not alone either.
There's someone who cares, and there's someone who, if you tell them I'm having a really hard time, they're gonna help you. So just trying to find those people, which is really hard to do when you're not feeling great, but it's worth it, I promise.
Do something that makes you feel good, you know? You don't have to feel good all the time or anything, but I think it's good to feel good sometimes.
I really don't know a lot of people here who I have gotten to open up to me who are like totally fine.
I'm not fine because I think that I have a lot harder time practicing what I preach when it comes to being confident and loving who I am.
I'm not fine because I am going to school dealing with anorexia.
I'm not fine because the world has a lot of issues.
I'm not fine because there are still things that I struggle to share with other people.
I'm not fine because I have anxiety and depression.
I feel so lost in my life right now.
I'm not fine because having anxiety in college makes it extremely overwhelming.
I can't always say yes. I can't always get out of bed and go to class.
I'm not fine because being 20 is hard.
I'm expected to plan my future and do 20 million things at once and love everything, even when I'm having trouble even just getting out of bed in the morning.
I'm not fine because everything makes me anxious and scared.
I'm not fine because I'm in a place where productivity is valued above everything else.
I'm not fine because sometimes I'm not fine, but also sometimes I'm really good. And I want that on camera because it's important for me to remember that too.
I think that every morning I wake up more and more sure of who I am and proud of who I am and ready to show that to the world.
When I am honest with people, I get a lot of support for it.
People are passionate everywhere you look, and it's okay to not be the only person to solve the issues. I have a lot of people in my life that I know will be there when I am ready to share that, and they're also willing to wait.
But I'm growing.
I'm coping and finding little things every day that make me less anxious.
But there's too many good things ahead to give up now.
I will have a life ahead of me, and that life is going to be okay eventually, even if it's not right now.
But that's okay because I'm working on self-growth and self-love, and I know everything's gonna work out okay.
But I think the culture is changing, and I'm excited to find more community with others who may not be fine.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I love everyone.
I love my haters. Haters make me stronger. No, I don't know. Just like, you're all beautiful people.